Taurus, and welcome to your August 2018 general reading. So I'm just having a look at you've got two aces, okay? The aces, Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, right over each other, by the way. The aces, always my favourite. So aces, these are gifts, they're birthing something new, they represent new chapters. Just give me a minute. Quite an interesting combination of cards here. I'm going to start with the Romance Angel card, I think, which is let go of control issues, okay? Really hard thing for anyone to do, okay? But your protector card is the Ten of Swords, and that's exactly why I went. Now, the Ten of Swords, I think the Ten of Swords is as misunderstood as a Tower card. I'm sorry. I just don't read the cards the way that a lot of other people read them. And Ten of Swords, you have to understand the cards before the Ten of Swords, the Nine of Swords and the Eight of Swords. So feeling trapped, and then when you feel trapped and you don't take action, it turns into all this anxiety, this big muddle. The 10 is absolutely jumping off a cliff and making a decision to not be controlled by your mind anymore. You know, that overthinking, that is it, they call it analysis paralysis. We cannot find solutions in our mind, Taurus. Okay, that is what this is saying, and that's where the Ten of Swords is your protector card. It's almost, I want your heart to lead you this month, Taurus, okay? Because not only with the Ace of Cups, you've got the Peace card, okay? So the Peace card obviously is about, because when we no longer control a situation and we're not overthinking it, we let, and I really know, Taurus, how hard this is, by the way. It's really easy to say it, but we let the divine control us. The Ace of Cups is the Eye of God, it's a date with destiny, and it's your heart. Because when we let that control us, we move to a state of peace, okay? And there's a greater order that takes over. That's exactly what I'm getting your readings about, okay? But let's have a look at what's going on. So you leave July with the Knight of Swords and the Seven of Wands. Quite an interesting combination of cards again. The Knight of Swords tends to be quite a rapid mover, right? Clear-cut decision, and away he goes charging. This could be you or someone else. It doesn't have to be an air sign person. It can be about news coming your way. Just, it brings quite rapid change, that Knight of Swords. It's with the Seven of Wands though, so there's a bit of an interesting combination of cards here, because there's still a little bit of guarding, either between you and someone else, but not completely, because look at the card. You're half letting someone in and half not, okay? Because I always think behind this door is about our heart, it's about intimacy, our vulnerability, and you half got the door open and half not. Very interesting combination of cards, just sort of making me laugh a little bit, because it's like full steam ahead with your brakes on. There's a sort of wanting to go forward, wanting to hold back, one step forward, two steps back. Not bad, Taurus, but just look after yourself, because I can imagine these cards would involve an awful lot of overthinking. It's exactly what the other cards are saying. There's a lot of control going on here. But listen guys, I know letting go of control, it's really easy if you say it quickly. I do get it, okay? Because what you most want is the Ace of Swords, which is this gift of clarity. It's for the clouds to go so you can see clearly. But the Ten of Swords is helping you get that. which means you need to let go of all the storyline, the overthinking, because that's what I'm getting here. Because really, the Nine of Swords is the card that comes before the 10, and it's that state of mind about everything that can go wrong, which is keeping you in a really contracted place. The 10 of Swords is, I don't know how this is going to work out, but I'm going to give it a go anyhow. That might only be for a few of you, but it's about letting go and letting the situation unfold, which is exactly what your Romance Angel card is saying, okay? But that can be for any situation. Your challenge is the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands represents new life opportunities, okay? So maybe some of you might have more than one option, by the way, because the Page of Wands can be a bit like that. Or some of you have got problems making a clear-cut decision about the next step forward, either romantically or around work and money, okay? The Page of Wands is about attraction now, but it's one of these attractions where it's like, well, I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with these feelings, with these desires. But you're over-controlling this, Taurus. And I don't like seeing you over-controlling things because it robs you of peace. And your additional guidance card is peace, which means try and let... I'm not saying don't take action, but try and let as much resolve itself as it can. In your relationship, you've got my favourite card, the Ace of Wands, the Eye of God. It is about divinity. It's a love that can't be avoided, never could be avoided. It doesn't matter what obstacles are in your path where the Ace of Cups shows up. And maybe that's what the issue is. Maybe there's some obstacles here, Taurus. And that's what makes it doubly hard. But the Ace of Cups is one of my cards of a certain karma, which means it could never be avoided, this situation. It's that destiny, basically. Money and work, you've got the Four of Swords. So some Taurus are absolutely exhausted, by the way. They're having to take a rest, take a retreat to try and gather your energy. Or there's a really big desire to. Maybe some of you are having a bit of a break. Let me just carry on. You've got such an interesting reading, Taurus. In your soul life, you've got the Chariot card, which again is moving forward, a bit like the Knight of Swords. And to me, the Ten of Swords is a moving forward card, because it's one of these things I would rather leap than stay where I was, which has been restricted and being in anxiety. There's a lot of action, but there's maybe a little bit of a sense of what I don't quite know what to do with this bubbling activity. But the Chariot again is moving forward, but then it gets quite ironic again. Queen of Swords first and then the Hanged Man. The Queen of Swords could be an air sign person, or she is a little bit of, she can be, her ultimate meaning for me is the truth shall set you free. That is what the Queen of Swords and her ultimate represents. But every card has endless meanings. But maybe some Taurus are being asked to communicate. Yeah, to straightforwardly dialogue. So, but then the Hanged Man comes. So I'm going to clarify the Hanged Man, because again, he's a bit like the Ten of Swords in a way. He's a decision to move forward, to end that state of being stuck. But I'm a bit intrigued. So there's a lot of movement forward, then retreat, movement forward, then retreat. Mars is retrograde to the end of the month, so most people's lives are going to be a little bit constricted. But it's like you've got a carrot in front of your nose here. Taurus, and I think it's about love, by the way, by the looks of it, and desire. But it's not going to be a straightforward thing, basically. And you know what? I'm sure there was a day in life where life was straightforward, but I can't remember where it went. So I'm going to clarify the Hanged Man, because after this Queen of Swords, which to me is, I mean, it can be a little bit of a cold card, the Queen of Swords. And that's not her ultimate meaning, though. The ultimate meaning of the Queen of Swords is enlightening and bringing light to a situation, which is what you most desire here, Taurus, is clarity. That's what the Queen of Swords does. And if she has to cut through a bull, she cuts through a bull. She doesn't take prisoners because she's a queen and she looks after her energy. So the Hanged Man, what is that? Okay, so you're leaving the month of August still in a little bit of sense of uncertainty. Hold on. Give me a minute. Why is Taurus leaving like this? Because, alright, you got, listen guys, don't get angry with me. You've got two cards, retreat, but passion still. That is the whole reading for me. It's like you're going backwards and you're going forwards. You're going to have to trust it, Taurus. It's Mars retrograde. Everyone's getting it. Not everyone, but a lot of signs are getting love with frustration. And it seems to be August, its theme is a step forward and a step back. A step forward. There's definitely passion and love, but so is the need to take time out, to disconnect before you move your life forward. You are an earth sign. It's what you represent. You don't do anything in a hurry. I'm going to be doing the love readings next month and next week. I like your reading, Taurus. I think you've got a theme that most people have, by the way. So don't get annoyed. Trust the process. Let go of control issues and allow the situation to unfold perfectly, because I guarantee you it will. Okay? Interesting. Look out for my love readings next week, Taurus. Bye.